At the International Toy Fair in Nuremberg, Marklin once again presented its new items for Marklin, Trix and LGB. Given the new array of fantastic models, 2020 is sure to continue the very positive trend of the past few years. Recent figures are reason enough to be optimistic about the future.
Ja, das zweite Jahr in Folge sogar schon. Wir haben von 17 auf 18 haben wir 4 Millionen zugelegt.
Yes, the figures are really promising for the second year in a row. From 2017 to 2018, we increased our revenue by 4 million euro. Last year, we even managed to outperform this by increasing revenue to 5 million. This is a great result, given that we are operating in a niche market. I think we really earned this by listening to our customers and creating models that were on everyone's wish list. This was also rewarded by a rising membership count for our Marklin Insider Club. We've also attracted many younger customers, which shows that our marketing strategy has been successful in reaching a completely new audience. We are very pleased with this trend and hope to continue as strong as this in the coming year. Much of our recent strategy catered to grandparents and parents showing new ways to connect with their kids and grandkids through model railroads, and this has been a very successful campaign. Many of these customers create their own layouts and spend a great deal of time bringing their vision to life. As a result, we have seen an increased demand in our standard track systems.
Ein Riesen-Highlight-Projekt ist für mich sicherlich auch das Insider-Modell.
One of my personal highlights for this year is the RAM, our Insider Club model. In the past, this model was made from plastics, but will now be released as a metal version true to the Marklin philosophy. The first orders for this train are in. Overall, we are seeing a high demand for this new model. Florian Sieber spends his days mostly in Fürth nowadays. Doesn't he miss anything? Actually, not at all. I am in touch with Marklin employees, colleagues and customers every day, so I'm still devoting 50% of my time to looking after Marklin, Trix and LGB. The pretty TEE isn't the only highlight for 2020. The Big Boy in half-O scale and the V320 in its 1-gauge version are among the latest gems. This impressive diesel giant will be released in multiple versions. Numerous little parts and a body primarily made from metal set this burly diesel engine apart from its predecessors. The refined Marklin models will help keep the memory of this legendary lone wolf alive. The Mountain Queen or Series 94 will join the half-O range of products as an oil-fired version of the Deutsche Reichsbahn. Numerous little tweaks were added when designing the model to create an even more realistic engine. This already shows on the pre-series model. The prototype of the oil-fired engine was in active service until 1981. A first pre-series model of the new ICE-4 also made its appearance in Nuremberg. This train is the current flagship project of the Deutsche Bahn AG. The elegant speedster will be released as Marklin and Trix models in the course of 2020. This was recently announced by CEO Wolfrat Bächle.
Nürnberg 2020.
Nuremberg 2020. You already seem very pleased on the first day. What have been your initial impressions so far?
Zufriedenheit ist immer so eine Sache. Ich würde mal so sagen, ich glaube, dass wir wiederum ein relativ...
Well, I think it is safe to say that once again we are here presenting a very strong range of products. Last year was very positive for us overall and motivated us to invest in outstanding new items across all scales. I'm sure you know these items like the back of your hand by now, having spent so much time with them.
Es gibt sicher Modelle, wenn du die jetzt, du kennst sie natürlich länger als wir sie kennen.
What are your highlights among the many wonderful half-O new items?
Ja, so die Glanzlichter in diesem großen, wunderschönen Halb-Null-Sortiment zum Beispiel.
Ich gebe zu, ich kenne den einen oder anderen Modellwunsch schon wahrscheinlich etwas länger als du.
True, I may know some of these models better than others, but as I'm sure so do you, as you have been involved in developing some of these with your advice and knowledge. If I had to point out one model in particular, it would be the Ram. This is a project close to my heart. This item will be released as a cast model weighing an impressive 2 kilograms. At the same time, the train will have extensive functions and come with a very detailed body. I'm proud of what we have achieved in developing this model. And looking at the number of orders that have come in so far, I think it clearly shows that this item is very popular among customers despite the higher price point.
Im Moment sehr
Ein
gut.
echtes Wunschmodell der Kunden eigentlich.
So ist es.
Es gibt natürlich auch bei Tricks das Modell.
We need to point out here that this item will of course also be available as Trix Direct Current version. Absolutely. And it is great to see that orders for this item in the direct current version are actually coming in at a higher rate than for last year's club model. Clearly, customers who covet realistic trains true to the prototype appreciate this new item. Let's move on to another Swiss model, the Stängeli locomotive. I am absolutely sold on this one. What is your verdict?
Ja, kann ich nur bestätigen.
Well, I cannot but agree with you here. The Stängeli locomotive perfectly complements the existing range of Swiss models such as the Crocodile and the Köfferli. I think this will be a highly successful model. I really like it.
Sie gefällt mir
This year, you really managed to create a range of new items that includes models from era 1 to 6, covering the entire bandwidth. For the modern era 6, there is this beautiful diesel engine, for
Wenn
example.
du Richtung Epoche 6 sprichst, da wirst du wahrscheinlich die Class 66 ansprechen.
Speaking of era 6, you are probably hinting at the Class 66. This is a great locomotive. We will release it in 4 different versions. Its main purpose is to haul freight trains from the ports inland. There is, for example, this lovely red HGK engine. Then there is the Rotterdam rail version in the black and yellow color scheme. Furthermore, there are the CargoNet and Linears versions. All in all, this is a versatile model.
Modell und ich glaube, dass wir da punkten werden.
Not to forget the technical gimmicks. Steam engines usually emit steam, but diesel engines too put out smoke.
Raucht auch.
Yes, this one is a heavy smoker too, but it's harmless smoke for sure.
Ungefährlich.
Let's move on to the 1-gauge model of the Riebe. I believe this model will not only be released in the Riebe version, right?
Nee, die bringen wir sehr farbenfroh. Die kommt in Rot, die kommt
Yes,
in
we will release it in red, yellow and orange color schemes. If you ask me, this yellow version is the prettiest of them all. Originally, the model was supposed to weigh around 7 kilograms. By now, the finished model actually weighs 9.5 kilograms. It's hard not to be impressed by this colossal engine when you see it up close for the first time.
Also, wow.
Geh mal wieder auf.
In regard to the smaller scales, I was very pleased to see a lot of progress with the N-scale assortment. Also, you developed a new track system, right?
Wir machen gleich was. Ich denke, es ist wichtig,
Indeed,
dass
we
wir
did. I think it is important to invest into providing the right infrastructure for the N-scale. We have added new radius turn sections and the turntable has finally been developed. This certainly is a strong signal for N-scale fans, showing that this scale too has lots in store at the moment.
sehen, dass es auch da weitergeht.
There will also be a new half-O turntable. However, the release date has not been fixed yet. Can you tell us a bit more about the status of this project?
Das Thema
There is no point denying that we have been wanting to release the new half-O turntable for some time. Unfortunately, one of our suppliers has left us in the lurch, which has slowed us down considerably. At least I've been able to bring a pre-series sample to the fair. I have high hopes that we will be able to offer this item to our customers by the end of 2020.
Ich habe jetzt selber Hoffnung, dass wir es dieses Jahr dann tatsächlich auch für den Kunden realisieren dürfen und können. Das
So this new turntable will definitely be available for Marklin and Trix this year?
Das Ziel, wir sind im Moment in der
Yes, that is our main goal. The molds have almost been completed, and we are working on the fine-tuning between mechanic and electric components. That allows me to be quite optimistic that we will finish this project this year. What's the current situation at the production sites in Göppingen and Gjør? We noticed that recently deadlines have been met more often, and it seems that the internal processes have been
Ich würde mal
optimized.
so formulieren. Grundsätzlich haben wir ordentliches Wachstum verzeichnet können, wo wir ein bisschen stolz drauf sind, brauchen wir aber auch.
Yes, first of all, we have seen considerable growth for the business compared to previous years. This was great news, but also a welcome development, as this was what we needed to make necessary investments into our staff and technology. We are proud to say that we have been able to extend a guarantee for employment to a further 6 years despite the current uncertainty in many sectors. We still believe in model railroads and in our employees. That's why we felt it was important to have our staff know this as well.
Und denen auch das richtige Signal zu setzen, ja, haben wir das miteinander vereinbart.
You are also trying to find new ways to optimize model railroad technology. Let's, for example, take a look at these two locomotive bodies. The dark one here is a lot heavier. What's the secret? It's metal, of course. As you know, not all models can be created by means of zinc die casting due to their shape. We've been thinking of how we can enhance these kinds of models in a different way. The solution is to add metal to the plastic. This is especially meaningful for Z and N scale models, as many customers have been asking for heavier models with better traction. That's the reason why this dark body here is considerably heavier. We've not found the perfect recipe yet, but ultimately this will improve traction and handling for these models.
Änderungen an den Formen vornehmen, aber wir können da einiges, denke ich, auch verbessern.
We are looking forward to the results. Now I'd like to wish you a successful fair and business, and keep those great ideas coming. Thank you very much. The Nürnberg Toy Fair is an important event for Marklin.
Weil es ganz einfach immer noch ein Hype ist. Die Kunden kommen, die gehen her, schauen sich hier die Neuheiten an.
Nuremberg still is a highlight for many customers who tend to decide on their new favorite models here to place their orders. On Saturday and Sunday, we also welcome many Marklin specialist dealers. We will also have all our new items on display in Mannheim and Dortmund as well. I believe that the Nuremberg Fair still is an important event for marketing our new items, and not only for local customers, but for visitors from different countries as well. Our sales advisors have been taking bookings in advance, and all spots are completely booked until late Sunday. It's also important that customers will be able to see the new items up close, not just in pictures in our catalogs. The new MHI anniversary model of the V200 in the Vectron color scheme has been widely praised, and people have been telling me personally how much more impressive this model is in real life compared to the photos. This is why it's so important to have the new items on display here as well, be it the new turntable or the new ICE4.
Ob das die Drehscheibe ist oder zum Beispiel auch den ICE4.
The pre-series versions already show off the engine's great looks in the new items catalog. This also goes for Series 78.
Wir haben die wirklich komplett neu gemacht, ganz neu konstruiert, nachdem wir ja schon Baureihe 78
This item has been made from completely new tooling. We've always had Series 78 in our range of products, however, that previous model has now become rather outdated.
Motor mit Schwungmasse und dann haben wir noch viele angesetzte freistehende Leitungen und Rohre an der Lokomotive, teils auch aus Metall. Und es ist eine Führerstandbeleuchtung eingebaut. Und dann haben wir auch nochmal eine Baureihe 78 in der Epoche 3, die in Essen beheimatet war.
This model will not be equipped with sound functions or the World of Operations mode. However, it will include all the usual light functions. Of course, both models, that is the Era 4 and the Era 3 models, will also be available for
Hier haben wir
trips.
die Epoche 4 Variante auch voll ausgestattet und die Epoche 3 Variante, die Baureihe 78, die wird als Modell mit 21-poliger Schnittstelle ausgeliefert.
Marklin has been using its very own molds and tools to create this remarkable diesel engine. It's the perfect addition to the existing range of products.
Wir sind, was diese Baureihe angeht, schon sehr weit mit unseren Formen. Auch diese Muster, die jetzt hier bei uns in der Vitrine auf der Messe stehen.
The molds for this engine are nearly all finished. This means that most components on these pre-series versions that we have on display here at the fair are actually made from molded parts already. There are a few things we still need to improve, but we are doing well so far. All tools and molds for this model were developed from scratch. The upper body and the chassis are made of metal. As a new technological feature, we included a smoke generator. This component is a brand new feature that allows for dynamic smoke output. For this purpose, we fitted an extra large tank to hold the smoke oil. The tank can be accessed by lifting off the roof panel. This will expose a valve to pour more oil into the tank. When the engine is stationary, the smoke output will be minor, and it will increase gradually as the engine picks up speed. Let's continue with a few more interesting steamers. Of course, Marklin models don't only cater to adults, but also always have the younger generation.